All right, not only did Solyndra fail, but there is political stench about fundraisers and White House collusion in the original deal and approval. So here now we have Florida Republican Congressman Cliff Stearns. He chairs the House Energy Committee's subcommittee on oversight and investigations. He held a hearing on all this today. Mr. Stearns, Cliff Stearns, welcome back to the show. Was there, in fact, White House pressure on the OMB and the Department of Energy to approve these Solyndra loans before they were fully vetted?
Larry, I don't think we can say categorically it's true, but when asked, Mr. Silver and Mr. Zeitz, Mr. Silver, of course, is the top loan officer at the Department of Energy, he would not deny that there was conversations between the Department of Energy and the White House, and it's the same with the OMB. So we're still going into this, and we're going to also look at Solyndra, the executive, the CEO, as well as the CFO, when they come next Friday under oath to tell us what influence the White House had on them.
I want to get to those executives in a minute, but I just want to ask you regarding the vetting process. In your investigation today, were you satisfied that either OMB and the Department of Energy did their job? Let's put the White House collusion threat aside. I don't know whether there's a scandal or just incompetence. How did you read it today? Did those agencies do their job, Cliff?
Well, no. Two things. First of all, they're political appointees, Larry, so they're beholden to the president because of their appointments. And secondly, even though red flags were put up, they did nothing to stop it. And once they went through $1.5 billion in cash burn. Now think of that. They went through in less than 2 years $1.5 billion in cash burn. They did nothing, and in fact, when they came to try to save Solyndra and they asked two hedge funds to give them another $75 million, it was clear they were not going to make it, yet Department of Energy as well as OMB did nothing to stop it.
Did they give you any reason why they did nothing to stop it?
They gave no reason. In fact, when you said to them, do you think in retrospect you should have stopped it, they didn't even agree they should have done that. So even though the red flags were up there, they seem to think there's no responsibility for preventing the wholesale loss of all this taxpayer money. And you know, Larry, also what's not pointed out in the story is that the FBI raided Solyndra 2 days after their bankruptcy, which indicates there's criminal fraud here.
What did we find? Do we know what the FBI found, Cliff Stearns?
No, we don't. But at this point, I would suspect they're looking at the possibility that the books were bogus. Also, there might have been theft. There might have been some kind of capital cronyism where people got subcontracts that did no work. Those are all the kind of questions we're hoping to answer as we get into this. Now, there's one other point that did come out in this hearing, Larry. The Energy Policy Act of 2005 says that all taxpayers' money have first right if you go into bankruptcy. The Department of Energy negotiated that these two hedge funds get first right on the proceeds from the bankruptcy ahead of taxpayers. So taxpayers are now subordinated behind these two hedge funds.
Wow. That's
illegal, and that's what the Department of Energy agreed to do.
So this thing does have a stench, and it does have a scandal. Let me ask you about Mr. George Kaiser, who had a 39%, one of his firms had a 39% ownership in Solyndra. He's a leading Democratic fundraiser. He's a leading Obama fundraiser. What's going to happen with his take? How much did he influence the White House to influence the DOE and the OMB to put this phony company through?
Well, I think he's got to take some responsibility. I think he was an early investor, and plus Argonaut was his hedge fund that invested part of the $75 million to try and get it through, and he's part of the one that negotiated that he gets his money back first instead of taxpayers. I think this all shows that there's a lot of political influence here, and the president really hasn't answered any questions. And in the end, I think he has a responsibility to be transparent here and not let my committee be thwarted. I've asked for all his emails from the White House as well as a relationship between Solyndra and the White House. We're still waiting for that information. We had to subpoena the information from the Department of Energy as well as OMB, and we finally got that. So we're still on the hunt.
All right, I'm going to leave it there. Congressman Cliff Stearns, good luck on your investigations. Thank you for serving the public. Thanks for coming on the show again. That's it for this evening's show. I'm Larry Kudlow. We will be back tomorrow night. There is a scandal brewing on this Solyndra story. The green energy thing, there's $10 billion more in those loan guarantees. Please stop it.